Okay, so to the ito sabi ni Sasot, to Kakampinks, do you know the best way to absolutely prevent a Duterte comeback? Campaign for Mindanao independence. Okay. Okay, so first of all, sino yung Duterte na sinasabi niya? So, malamang malabo ng si Tatay Digong dahil siya ay bukod sa nakakulong sa ICC, matanda na rin, 'di ba? 'Di ba? At saka hindi na siya pwedeng tumakbong presidente. So, si Sara Duterte, yun ang tinutukoy niya kasi yun ang naman ng tatakbong Duterte. 'Di ba? Yung dalawang Duterte pa, si Baste at saka si pangalan nun, ewan ko, si Baste at saka si Pulong. Di ko alam kung you'll never know. You'll never know. Pero right now, seems to me parang hindi ganun kalakas yung ibang Duterte. Sara Duterte lang talaga for now. Anyway, so pero ang weird nitong campaign nila na ihiwalay ang Mindanao. Sino bang nagpauso niyan? Sino bang nagpauso nung idea na kailangang ihiwalay ang Mindanao? 'Di ba? Actually, tanungin natin si Grok. Eto, meron tayong pauso dito sa dito sa ating stream. Gumamit tayo ng AI, 'di ba? AI streamer tayo eh. Kung may AI artist, tayo ay AI streamer. Teka. Gamitan natin ng tanungin natin siguro kung ano bang meron talaga dito sa Mindanao Independence Campaign. Kasi ang weirdo niyan 'di ba? Mga Muslim ba yung nag-ano niyan? Malalaman natin sa Grok. Kay paring Elon. Paring Elon, tulungan mo ako. Yan. Okay. Game. Tanungin natin tong si Grok, ha? Okay.
All right. Anything else on your mind?
Ayan, okay. So, who in Philippine politics, who floated the idea of Mindanao independence in relation to the Dutertes?
It was former President Rodrigo Duterte himself who revived and publicly floated the idea of full Mindanao independence back in early 2024 during his feud with Marcos Jr. over charter change. He tasked his close ally, ex-House Speaker Pantaleon Alvarez, to lead the push and start a signature drive. Duterte later called it a blip or joke to rattle Manila, but Alvarez kept insisting it's serious. The idea's got old roots, like from Ruben Canoy way back, and Duterte joked about secession even as mayor, but the recent version tied directly to the Duterte started with him.
So, what was his reasoning? Why would he want to do that? And why is it being floated back again right now by his supporters?
Back in early 2024, Duterte floated it mainly as a pressure tactic against Marcos Jr. during their big fallout over charter change. He thought Marcos was pushing amendments to lift term limits or grab more power, so he threatened secession to scare Manila and rally Mindanao pride. He also griped that Mindanao gets neglected by Imperial Manila. Nothing much changes no matter who's president, and even half-joked that an independent Mindanao could shield him from the ICC probe on his drug war. He later walked it back, calling it just a blip or panghadlok to rattle them. Right now, in 2026, his diehard supporters are dusting it off again, mostly because the family feels under siege. His ICC arrest last March, ongoing threats to impeach Sarah, budget cuts hitting Mindanao hard for 2026, and the whole Uniteam alliance being dead. It's their way to fire up the base, paint Manila as the enemy bullying the South, and maybe bargain for political survival ahead of midterms or whatever comes next. Some are even holding consultations and talking UN petitions. But it's still more noise than real momentum.
Okay. So si Duterte pala talaga yung una. Siya mismo. Panindak daw niya. Okay. So nag-aaway sila ni BBM dati dahil sa charter change. Tapos tong si Duterte gusto niyang sindakin si BBM. But hindi na siya presidente nun eh. 'Di ba? Hindi na siya presidente. So bakit maninindak siya? Tapos, ngayon, ibinabalik yung talking point na yun dahil feeling harassed itong mga Duterte. Okay. But President Rodrigo Duterte wasn't president anymore. Why did he threaten Bongbong Marcos with that? And was he taken seriously?
Yeah, he wasn't president anymore, but he still had massive clout in Mindanao, controlled most of the local machinery there. And his daughter, Sarah, was vice president with a huge war chest for 2028. So when he saw Marcos trying to amend the Constitution, which he believed was to extend BBM's term or weaken the VP, he basically went nuclear. If you touch the charter to screw us, we'll just take Mindanao and leave. It was pure leverage. Classic Duterte hardball. Was he taken seriously? Hell yes, at first. Marcos immediately sent envoys down south, the AFP went on alert, stock market dipped, and Malacanang kept denying any term extension plan for weeks. Even the US Embassy quietly asked what was going on. Once Duterte laughed it off as a scare tactic, the panic cooled. But everybody got the message. Mess with the Dutertes at your peril.
What? Oy, Denzabol, magandang Happy New Year sa iyo. Bro, bully. Grabe. Hindi actually parang na-miss ko tong ano na to, tong balitaktakan na to, or hindi lang talaga na babalita, or nag-iimbento na naman tong si Grok. either yun sa tatlo ha. Pero 'di ba? So nawindang talaga sila dahil sa clout nitong si Duterte. So talagang he was taken seriously at first. So nagpadala ng envoy para kausapin si Duterte. The AFP went on alert. Tapos yung stock market bumaba. Grabe naman. Grabe. Okay. But right now that President Duterte is detained in the ICC. He's not in the Philippines. How seriously are the people in Mindanao taking this idea? Is it popular there?
Right now, with Digong locked up in The Hague, the independence talk is louder than ever in Davao and parts of central Mindanao, but it's still more Duterte loyalty rally than actual secession fever. In the latest Pulse Asia survey from December 2025, about 38% of Mindanaoans said they'd support an independent Mindanao if it protects the Dutertes from persecution and brings more money home. That's up from 22% a year ago, so sympathy for him being in the ICC definitely juiced the numbers. But when you ask the follow-up, would you actually vote for it in a real referendum tomorrow? It drops to low 20s. And in ARM, BARM areas, it's even lower because a lot of Bangsamoro leaders hate the idea of trading one Manila for a Davao-dominated republic. So, the rhetoric is hot, red shirts are marching, some mayors are holding consultations, and Sarah's allies keep saying we're studying all options. But most people treat it like a protest vote or bargaining chip, rather than something they expect to really happen soon.
Okay, so hindi siya parang pang-rally, pang-support sa mga Duterte, effective siya, pero yung actual na kakalas yung Mindanao sa Pilipinas, sa Luzon at Visayas, hindi talaga siya popular. So basically, parang classic na if I'm gonna interpret it, classic lang siya na tribal mentality. Itong mga katulad ni SAS, Eto, puputak siya ng ganyan na mga katulad nito na campaign for Mindanao independence, 'di ba? To prevent 'di ba? Kumbaga parang sabihin niya na Duterte ang malakas sa Mindanao tapos wala nang okay, ayaw niyo sa mga Duterte, then ayaw ibig sabihin parang ayaw niyo sa Mindanao. Yun ang message niya na parang yung Mindanao, balwarte ni Duterte to, maka Duterte ang mga taga Mindanao. So, kung ayaw mo kung kalaban niyo ang mga Duterte, kalaban niyo ang buong Mindanao. Basically, that is the message nitong si Sas. Pero sa totoo lang, meron akong nakausap. Ang sabi niya ay bumababa na rin ang popularity ni Sara Duterte sa Mindanao. At merong isang maaring kandidato na maaring siya makakuha noong mga boto na yun. Okay ba yung natin, yung stream natin? Nawawala ba tayo? Mag-comment kayo guys. But eto, malalaman natin yan sa mga dadating na araw. Okay? So, kalokohan lang tong sinasabi nitong si Sas. But who knows? Siguro meron talagang mga taga Mindanao na ayaw na, ewan ko, kung gugustuhin kumalas talaga ng mga taga Mindanao. May taga Mindanao ba dito? What is your take? Personally, kayo ba ay gusto nyo ba talagang kumalas ang ganito ang pagpipilian yan gusto nyo whether may Duterte o wala, gusto nyo ba talagang kumalas ang Mindanao sa Pilipinas? Or gusto mo lang kumalas sa Pilipinas ang Mindanao dahil para sa mga Duterte? 'Di ba? Kung sabihin ng mga Duterte na kumbaga just to follow Duterte, kakalas ang Pilipinas sa Mindanao. Or ayaw nyo. Parang kalokohan yan. Kahit si Duterte ka pa, sino ka ba? Bakit ba gusto mong kumalas sa Mindanao sa Pilipinas? 'Di ba? So, yun. I'd like to think na na Pilipino pa rin ang tingin ng mga taga Mindanao sa Pilipinas. Ito nakalagay dito is sa ARMM lalong hindi popular ang pagkalas kasi parang ang mangyayari sa kanila Manila ngayon kasi Manila yung naghahawak sa nandun ng leadership, 'di ba? Ng bansa sa Manila. Mas okay sa kanila daw 'yon ayon dito kay Grok kesa mga taga Davao ang maging leader ng Mindanao. Okay.